Hi, Cliffords. Time for the second chapter in A Hare Raising Tale. Oops, I did it again. Hare Raising Tale by Elizabeth Levy, illustrated by Mordecai Gernstein. I'm not sure how to say it, but he'll forgive me, I'm sure. So in chapter 1, Fletcher had just found a home with Jill and Gwen and Jill's mom. And he had his very best friend. His name is Jasper, and he is a flea. Today I'm going to start on chapter 2, and it is called The Life of a Flea. Oops, can be very fleeting. Fleeting is a word that means like something that you lose easily or quickly leaving you. So my breath, sometimes if I talk too fast, can be very fleeting. So, chapter 2. So life began with the first humans I ever knew. I lived at Jill's house, but Gwen came over so often that I really felt like I belonged to the two of them. In fact, I loved them both. Oh. I didn't feel that way about all of Jill's friends. I would soon learn that 8-year-olds travel in packs much the same as dogs do. This is our new dog, Jill said proudly. What's his name? Said Isabella. We don't know yet, said Jill. I'm waiting for the perfect name to come to me. He kind of looks like a Garfield, suggested Chris. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Garfield is a very popular cartoon cat. He loves lasagna and he's kind of fat. And he was very popular, probably like 15, 20 years ago. He's sure tubby enough to be Garfield, said Chris's older brother James, which I didn't think was a terribly nice thing to say. If you let yourself to be named after a fat cat, you'll never live it down, said Jasper. What can I do? I told you, human has the right to name us. Still, you want a name that fits. Gwen and Jill's friends came up with names like Butterball, Fatso, and Tubbalard. Rude. Tubbalard, whispered Jasper. That sounds nasty. And here's a picture of Fletcher as a wait a minute. Let me get it right. So all of my camera is backwards. So every time I go to move, I mess it up. Anyway, that is Fletcher as a tub of lard. Tub of lard, whispered Jasper. That sounds nasty. Not as a name, I hissed. I do not want to have humans shouting, Here, tub of lard! Just then, Jill's mother came outside and said, Hi, kids. Does anybody want a snack? I'd worry about my name later. I trotted after them to the kitchen. Jill's mother started making peanut butter sandwiches. I patiently sat under the table waiting for something to fall. Someone dropped a brown blob. The taste was good, but it stuck in my mouth. I couldn't open it for a minute. I was desperately trying to clear my tongue when I heard a boy ask, Is there any salami? Because I was under the table. I couldn't tell which of them said it. Salami and peanut butter, said Jill. Yuck! She is a wonderful girl, but she knows nothing about food. I wondered which kid had asked for such a mouth-salivating treat. I was sure that the peanut butter would taste better with salami. Everything tasted better with salami. All too soon, the kids wanted to play outside again, even though it was cold. I was ready for a nap in the warm kitchen, but apparently I was expected to go with them. Jill put her hand on my collar. Come on, boy, she said. Maybe the cold air would give me inspiration for your name. Personally, I thought inspiration could come just as easily in the warm kitchen. But what did I know about the minds of young humans? I laid down on the front porch. I wish it would snow, said Chris. If we don't get snow, how are we going to have the winter festival? They're getting a snowmaking machine this year, said James. What's a winter festival? Asked Jasper in my ear. I don't know, I admitted. If you ask me, there's nothing festive about the winter. I hate it. Who needs snow? Apparently they do. That dog's too lazy, said Isabella, looking at me. No, he's not, said Gwen. Come on, boy, fetch. Except for with her braces on, it came out like Fletch. She shook a stick in my face. Not a pepperoni stick, mind you, just a stick from a tree. Here I was with a bunch of third graders who had more energy than what they knew to do with. Let me say it again. What's that on my head anyway? Anyway, here I was with a bunch of third graders who had more energy than they knew what to do with. And they wanted me to run after a stick. They're the ones with all the pep. I should be throwing it for them. He's not a Fletcher, said Gwen. Once again, the F came out as a FL. But I like the sound of that word. It's a secret that all pets share. Most of the time, we actually pick our own names. We hear a word we like, and we get the humans thinking that they're giving it to us. I jumped up and put my front paws on Jill and licked her face. Here's the picture of that. You ready? There he is. There's Jill, and there's Fletcher trying to say, hey, I like the sounds of that. I jumped up and put my front paws on Jill and licked her face. She giggled. I think he wants to be called Fletcher, Jill shouted, understanding me perfectly. And so I got my name. Fletcher, repeated Jasper. Fletcher fits your face and your figure and your feet. Fletcher and his flea. I like it. You like anything that starts with the same letter. You think you can make it into a tongue twister, I said. But you're right, Fletcher and his fit as a fiddle flitting flea does have a certain ring. A little while later, the other children went home, but Gwen stayed around. Jill took me back inside. Mom, we named him, said Jill. His name is Fletcher. Fletcher, repeated Jill's mother. I like it. Well, Fletcher, I think it's time for a bath. I'll get the anti-flea shampoo they gave us. Anti-flea, said Jasper. Shh, I warned him. They'll hear you. I'm allergic to that stuff. You gotta stop them. There was very little I could do. Gwen and Jill got a hold of my collar and dragged me into the bathroom. I couldn't think about what to do to save Jasper. I saw a rubber ducky sitting on the bathtub ledge. Flea, jump to the duck, I hissed to Jasper. Just then, Jill's mother came in carrying a bottle. Here it is, she said. I know Fletcher doesn't want fleas. Oh, how I wished humans could understand more than they did. There was no way to explain to them that this one flea was different. I looked around. I couldn't see Jasper. I couldn't feel him. I had no way of knowing whether he had escaped or not. And here is the picture of the rubber ducky. Right there. Oops. The other way, Miss Helen. All right, there's a rubber ducky. And up on his head, do you see him? There's little Jasper right up on his head. Cute. The life of a flea can be very fleeting. Gwen and Jill put some pink stuff on my fur. It smelled like bubble gum. I was hoping it would taste like bubble gum. No such luck. I spit out the bubbles and twitched. Bubbles were flying everywhere. I hope they missed Jasper. Hey, shouted Jill, he looks like a snow globe. She laughed. It wasn't that funny. When the soap was out of my eyes, I looked around to see if Jasper had survived the sprinkling of flea shampoo. We should show him as the snow globe for the winter carnival, said Gwen. We could make a round plastic cover for him and sprinkle soap suds down as if they're snow. Very cool, said Jill. Let's take him to school for show and tell them it's our project. Here is the picture of Fletcher. Oop, 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 Miss Helen. There he is in the bathtub, covered, absolutely covered with bubbles. And as you can see, there's the tiny little rubber ducky next to him. The word show and tell worried me, but not as much as I worried about Jasper. I had no idea if he was alive or dead. I heard a tiny sneeze somewhere near my tail. Jasper, I whispered urgently. That was close, said Jasper. Are you okay? I asked. I'd be a dead duck without that rubber ducky, he said. I'm so glad you're alive, I told him. Isn't that cute, the little noises that Fletcher makes? Jill interrupted. It's as if he's talking to us. I smiled at her. Humans think the world revolves around them. They don't realize that the rest of us creatures are chatting away to each other, too. But it's kind of sweet that they think they're the center of the universe. After my bath, Gwen went home and Jill did some homework. Finally, I had time for a nap, and that was the first time in a long time that I could sleep. I couldn't sleep. Stop twitching, said Jasper. Why are you so jumpy? You're worse than me. While they were giving me my bath, they talked about taking me to some kind of show, I said. So what? You'll do very well. You have very nice ears. Thank you. It's not my ears I'm worried about, though. It's my tail. If they take me to a dog show, they'll find out I'm not all that a basset hound should be. Your tail is cute. Cute doesn't cut it in the dog show world. A basset hound is supposed to have a sweeping, comma-shaped tail. It's in the manual. It's so hunters can see us in the tall grass when we're chasing rabbits. Here's a picture of what a tail should be. So Xander, my dog, has the same kind of tail. It always sticks kind of up like this. It goes up and over. And it's so that the hunters can find them in the grass. Because when a hunter has a dog out there with them, if they get an animal, the dog's job is to run after it and find it, and then the hunter can find its way to the animal that it got. So their tails help them do their job. Anyway, but I digress. Personally, I can't see you chasing a rabbit, said Jasper. It's what I was bred for, I said. Oh, said Jasper. Oh, I said. That's all you can say? Well, remember, I just survived a flea bath. Let's not worry about this show stuff. For all you know, it might be months away. Then I heard a sound. It was a sound that I'd learned to love, the refrigerator door opening. I scurried into the kitchen as fast as I could on my short legs. I told you I can move fast when I needed to. And that is the end of Chapter 2. Chapter 3 is called Meet a Very Nasty Rabbit. I think we're going to... What is that rabbit's name? Anakin. We're going to meet him in Chapter 3. So, my friends, I hope you like this book so far. I will post another read aloud tomorrow, and I'm going to post some more websites that you can go and listen to other people read to you if that's what you want to do. Maybe mom and dad aren't available to read to you today, or they're busy, or they're making dinner, or whatever, and you can listen to somebody else read to you, so that's kind of cool. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Be good. Don't forget to wash your hands.